Okay, so black people are racist. Are we racist? For one, are we a we? Because when you say black people, the assumption is African American people. However, black people, according to the government, is someone who has melanin. There are a whole list of tribes that are not considered black to us, but they're considered black to the government. As a matter of fact, the water is so murky now that the white race, or we're all one race, the human race, but the so-called Europeans, are, they're pretty much at war with their own skin because they're, it's just becoming less and less of them. And there's more and more people who have melanin. But are they black? Okay, so if you have somebody who comes from, Mexico, is that a black person? But yet they have melanin. Are they black? According to the government, yes. So let me read, for one, let me look something up real quick. And let's see what the classification for what black is. All right? Let's look it up. All right? Just see what it says. Of the social base system, racial classification, ethnic, to describe a person. Let's see. Brown racial classification, ethnicity, classification, a person having an origin in any of the black racial groups of Africa. Okay, so Ethiopians, black people, people from Ghana, all over Africa. So that would mean that anybody who was brought from the continent of Africa is also considered black, who has melanin. Now, we all know that there's all shades of black, you know what I'm saying? It can go into a person who looks milky white. They still are considered a black person because they're albino. But yet the conversation is, are we racist? Now, when I ask this, immediately some people are going to be, black people will be mad at me, for saying black people are racist. But yet you'll be mad at me instead of holding a conversation of, are black people racist? And also, when I say black people are racist, I'm not just pertaining to racist against other, or I really don't like to say the word racist. Racist is, if you're a racist, you're studying, a race. A racist, a scientist. But prejudice against somebody. Are black people prejudiced? Answer is yes. But black people as a whole, are they prejudiced? Answer is no. But yet, I think that more and more black people are becoming prejudiced. Now, the reason why I say that is because the rigged presidencies. Okay, let me put it to you like this. We all, especially black people, are really, 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 really waking up to the fact that we're never going to get a fair share in America. Now, one guy did an interview with a black woman. He says, do you think that there's such thing as white privilege? And he went on to say that there is no such thing as white privilege when everybody knows there is a such thing as white privilege. He said he just doesn't see it But you go from slavery, come on up to today, the jail system, the police situation, and then just a whole list of things. Like the police recently used a beanbag on a guy who had a knife coming towards him. That same situation happened and the guy is dead. As a matter of fact, didn't even have a knife, didn't have anything. One guy answered the door with a screwdriver. He's dead. Okay, so, away with that guy. I don't even want to talk to people who won't even take a look at it. I guess the conversation is needed to be had, but I'm not dealing with blind people. I'm done. My job is not to try to wake you up when you refuse to be awake, when our people are just getting off every day. And then when you turn that around, you got black people who are racist against black people. There's black people who will not like me. Never met them, never done nothing to them. They refuse. They refuse to go to war with other black people. I was at a concert, and it was an outside concert. Chubb Rock, Big Daddy Kane, Dougie Fresh. These guys weren't talking about violence. So why do we need violence? All of a sudden, this guy just, he's standing in the crowd. He's on the benches. He's elevated. He just starts throwing stuff at other people. He just had the spirit in him. Just says, I just want to start something. Him and his woman. I just want to start some stuff. And I was looking like, why don't you just fall off the planet? Why don't you go start something with a bunch of other people who just want to start something, and you guys can just separate yourself from us who just want to come out here and have a good time? Why don't you just do that? Why don't you just take your hatred for what? I don't know who pissed you off, because nobody said anything to you. But it's like this is the reason why I don't go around a bunch of black people. I don't. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the fights. I'm tired of all of it. I'm tired of it. I don't want to, if I want to go and eat cotton candy and not have to scrap with you, it's exhausting. But black people are racist. We are. And we're becoming more and more racist. And the fight that we are enduring, the fight that some of these fights we're taking on ourselves. We're choosing to take on some of these fights when we don't have to. It'd be easier to go and unite with somebody than it will to fight them. It takes less energy. But we rather destroy each other on a regular basis. I feel good about tearing you down. And I've already talked about how destructive the music is, how corrosive it is, and with the women, with shaking their whatever, it's just a mess, especially the younger generation. I don't even want to deal with them. I don't want to go into any restaurant where they are. I'm tired. They don't know how to treat people. It's just disgusting. They don't know how to say hello. They're rude as hell. Rude as hell. And I don't feel like fighting with a bunch of them. They're just off the rocker. I'd rather just stay in and eat and or go buy the food and cook it myself. I don't want to deal with young people. The majority that I'm running into have no sense of customer service or anything. They feel they're entitled to something, and I'm not sure what it is. You've been on this planet, 18, 19 years? And you're entitled to what exactly? So, I don't know. Not to mention, if you don't want to work here, why be here? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be somewhere else? The black people are racist. Now, some of that racism is spilling over to, of course, white people, because the whole narrative that is created between us is not going anywhere. And it's been this way since the Jews and the Christians. It just is what it is. It's just a battle It's a biblical battle, is what it is. If you read the book of Deuteronomy, it's not going nowhere. You're not going to stop white people from hating black people. You're not going to stop black people for hating white people. It's just not going to happen. People need war. People are hateful because there's a spirit. There's a spirit of hate that's guiding them. And then there's these people who are manipulating all of us who are pulling the strings, especially the financial strings. And they're causing us to hate each other. But when you see, we are the many, they're the few. When you start looking at them and start going, why am I listening to you? See, that's another thing when it comes to black racism. Black racism isn't always, I wouldn't say necessarily bad. Well, let me say this, because I got to be careful. Being a racist is bad. Yeah. Being a racist is a bad thing, and then that word is taken out of context. Being a prejudiced person is bad. Being someone who is aware that there is a prejudice is a whole different thing. So you have black people who are fully growing up and becoming aware that there is so much prejudice and racism in this world that there has to be something done. And then people have different avenues of how they're releasing that. Some people are just going into attack mode. They're just, I'm going to attack white people. I'm going to attack Hispanic people, Indian, Asian. They're just going into attack mode. And that's just that. And then the worst is happening to them. And then you got people who want reason and reasonability. You got the people, especially the older generation, who are going, yeah, we know it's messed up. But if we go and just, crazy is going to come to us. And a lot of us don't want to see crazy. Listen, you don't want to see the streets closed. You don't want Kroger's to close. You don't want that problem. You don't want the avenue to shut down and you're not knowing what's going on. You don't want martial law and a howitzer to come down your street, which is a tank, if you didn't know, with armed guards and whatnot telling you better not come outside. If you do, you're going to leave this planet. You don't want that problem. Listen, they poisoned the water in Michigan. That is just a taste of what'll happen if we take the advice of some of these lunatics, which is, go ahead and, I'm not even going to say it. My phone's ringing, but hold on, I'll be right back. All right, bill collector. Hello? That's me. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, it's not going to cost me anything, so no, it doesn't matter to me. I'm on the east side. I can go to, there's a Providers East out here. Out on Broad Street. Doctors East or something like that. I don't know. Wherever you tell me to go, I'll go. So I'm on the east side. So. Oh, that's way too far. Just something that's close, because I'm in Reynoldsburg or Whitehall. That's fine with me. You guys send me a letter or something? Okay. I'll go there. I don't care. Okay. Morning is fine. Okay, thank you. Bye. Gotta get my back dead. All right. So, okay. It's a couple questions. Talk more about martial law in Michigan and what happened. Talk about it, my brother. What's up, Nicole? I will. I'm gonna talk more about stuff like that. I'm gonna answer this person's question. I don't believe I've seen this individual before, Wendy Saxton. And when this is posted, you guys can backtrack and you'll see that I said somebody's going to say, why are you saying this? For one, Wendy, when I'm speaking on an issue, usually it's from my experience. Usually, not unless I point out something that's in the news or something that people are ubiquitously saying. Then I try to bring up the topic and say, why are people saying this? Now, this is something I've heard out of other people's mouths. And I'm examining it, really, that's what I'm doing. And looking at it from what I've heard, what from other people say, and whatever I've experienced. So I just want you to understand the context. This is not me saying, everybody is saying this. It's me saying that this is a conversation that is budding and it's rising. And I'm trying to pick apart why and who and where it's stemming from. You know what I'm saying? Where it's coming from, where it's going to, why now it's such a big thing, and has it always been this way? So it's a touchy conversation. Boom. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that Black people are racist. I should have put a question mark at the end of it. So there's racism, there's reverse racism, and there's just all out prejudice. Black people, you just want to troll. Go read your history to understand why a lot of you have that stereotype. I misunderstood. Sorry, brother. It's okay. Okay, Nicole. I guess she's leaving. Okay, so no, it's okay. Like I said, I stated a lot of this. This is a live chat, so I stated a lot of it, earlier before you came on. And when it's over, you can go back and get another better context of what I'm trying to say. This is not me attacking Black people. I'm a Black man, so it's not me looking at the holistic view of Black people and then going, because I can't do that. But I can. Sometimes you got to listen to get the message right. But what I can do is say, this is a conversation that Black people are having and that they should have. This is what's happening among our community. This is what happened to me. So are Black people racist? Are Black people prejudiced? Yeah, we are. There's a lot of prejudice going on. There's prejudice against our own selves. There's, Black people hating on Black people. It's if you go back and start looking at where we came from and, Mesopotamia, Africa, and looking at the difference between the two continents, one of them is in Asia. Oh, okay, so let's look at it. One of them is in Asia. The Jews, Moses and all, came out of Asia. Jerusalem is in Asia. Okay, those people crossed the Red Sea and came into Africa. The Egyptians that held the Jews in captivity, the Egyptians are Africans. The people who were kept in captivity, and the people who were the captive and the people holding them captive are not the same, what you would call race. I say tribe. They're not the same tribe. We're all the same race as in human race. Everyone is human, but they're not the same tribe. And that's to be argued. Some people are going, white people are not human. I'm not going there. But they're not the same tribe. Okay? Right. You're going to Willie Lynch. I'm going before Willie Lynch. See, I'm going back to where we was Willie Lynching ourselves. You read the book of Deuteronomy, it explains a lot of what was happening to us and the curse that was laid upon us. You read that, but I'm not going to stay that far back. I'm going to bring it on up to where she's talking about and get into the Willie Lynch. And when you read the Willie Lynch law, and they're talking about what to do to the mother and what to do to the father, and this is the things that they really did do to us. Now, they separated us, and they did a doggone good job of just mind screwing us into believing that we were against each other and we should be against each other at all odds. They did a doggone good, and they're still doing it. They're still doing it. They're still promoting music that promotes drug use, that promotes premarital sex, that promotes every corrosive thing just to keep you at odds with each other, cursing and swearing. You notice the people who are at top of the charts are the people who are saying the worst things. I mean, tell me, how are these people blessing you? You're waking up and you're feeling blessed that you just heard Cardi B curse people out. I mean, I like the song. I like it like that. But you ever heard the majority of her songs is just cursing and swearing? And I like Cardi. I just don't like her music. And I know what they're doing. When you look at the story on how that music was promoted, when Poor Righteous Teachers was out, and Queen Latifah and you know, MC Lyte, and they were all talking about good things and bringing up the neighborhood, and then NWA came out, that was a Jewish man who said, we want to promote this violence. And then music changed after that. KRS-One and all that, everything changed after that. That was not an accident. They did that on purpose to make us divided and to create a racism or a prejudice against each other. And it worked. Now, if you look at some historical things that happened in Africa, if you look at Rwanda, in the Tutsis and the Hutus, the two tribes that were killed each other in like 98,000 at one time, and then 2 years later, they did it again. Guess who started that? The Dutch, as in De Beers, as in diamond rings. This is why I will never buy a woman a diamond ring. Never. When you buy me a diamond, you are out of your mind. I will buy you gold, though. Gold, yes. Diamond, absolutely not. Because the Beers who came out with the diamonds are forever and diamonds are a woman's best friend back in the 40s, it was all a ploy for marriage to send the man in $20,000 worth of debt just so he can, you know, buy this woman a ring, and then, you know, they get divorced and she keeps the ring. And this whole fiasco that is marriage, which is a lie. The marriage license is a lie here in America. Anyways, I digress. What they did, the story of Hotel Rwanda, if you look at it, it's a good movie and a true story, but if you look at it, it was about the Hutus and the Hutus and the Tutsis telling each other that they were different. One tribe was better than the other, and the difference was their nose. The Dutch did this. They gave guns to both sides and said, you are better than this side. They don't like you. You don't like them. And they totally destabilized the country while they were robbing the country. This is still going on today. They were robbing the country for the diamonds, they were robbing them for other resources, and they were robbing them for their children. Look at the earthquake that happened in Haiti. When that earthquake happened in Haiti, it unearthed a so-called Christian or Catholic group who were selling children here in the United States. That is still going on. This is why a lot of these countries are destabilized. Anyway, back to the racism. So Black people, if you have two tribes and you take everything from one tribe and you give everything to one tribe, that one tribe is going to start to hate the other. If you tell one tribe that they're better than the other and you create war between them, you create an angst, a malice between the two tribes, it just won't go away because your children are born into it. In other words, they're born hating each other. Now, some people as they grow will realize that, hey, I never had an issue with you. It was the Dutch who did this. And they grow out of it, but the young people who is still, that spirit is still in them, will still be fighting that same war. And this is the position that we're in right now. We're fighting a war that we didn't start. We have issues against each other, and we are reverse prejudice against each other for reasons that were not started by us. The African American people and the African people are not the same tribe. Okay, nonetheless, that here on this, they're not our enemies like they were 3,000 years ago. They are not our enemy. We are becoming our own worst enemies because we can't pull our head out of the ground and realize that we're all in this together. That's the problem. So are we racist? Absolutely. Now, some people who are going out and attacking other people who are of different color, that's ridiculous. Defend yourself. But going and attacking them for something that somebody else done to somebody else, that's not going to get it. Then there's the justice system itself. We are not going to get justice. You can march and say no justice, no peace, all you want to, but there has never been justice for us because of the classification that we fall under. They do not look at us as human. You have to understand that. If you go and look at some of these laws that are still in existence, some of these laws that are still in existence, we are not classified as human, and we are also classified as property. See, slavery was abolished, but some of the laws of slavery are not. Can a human own another human? The answer is, according to this country, yes, they can. And they're still acting upon this. So when they look at you, and this is why they look at you as inferior or an animal, or they try to classify you as an ape or something like that, as if they're better than apes. Apes aren't blowing up the planet. I don't remember the first time I saw an ape grab a machine gun and light a whole, bar up. Just knock out 50 people because the ape was mad at another ape. I can't remember an ape, building a hydrogen bomb. I just can't see how we're better than the apes. I'm sorry. When is the last time an ape invaded another country and took their oil? I just want to wake up to the reality that apes are dangerous. Not to mention, one-on-one, there's no man that's going to beat a full-grown ape or a silverback gorilla. We have learned that. It's just not possible. They are 3 times our strength. Okay? So I'm just... What, the opposable thumb? Is that what it is? No. I think that the apes are in better conditions than we ever will. because they respect the planet and they live off of the planet. We are a disease and we destroy the planet. We come from the planet, but we don't respect the planet. So there it is on apes. I favor the ape. Nonetheless, you have to understand that there are laws that are still here in America that have not been abolished. And unless those laws are abolished and you can be penalized for practicing those laws, okay, you have your normal law, which you can receive sometime a punitive damages for. If you go out and hit someone, that's assault and a bunch of other charges. But mainly, that's assault. If you go and take somebody from where they're at against their will, that's kidnapping. If you take somebody against their will and you hide them in the basement for a year or two, that's kidnapping and a bunch of other charges with it. And if you make that person an indentured servitude to you, that's slavery. That is 100% slavery. That's what it is. And if you think that's not happening here in America, you're fooling yourself. So, back to the racist issue. Are we racist? Are blacks racist? Yes. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We have an angst and a hatred towards other colors that have done things to us. And that hatred is spilled onto other colors and factions that have done nothing to us. There has never been a war between black people and Mexicans. Not that I know of, other than a drug war. And that was a war for territory. That I can understand. But an all-out full-scale Guadalupe Hidalgo type of remember the Alamo, I don't think it was blacks and Hispanics. I can't remember a war between Indian people and black people. Not one. I don't know any war with the Spaniards and black people. Okay, so if we go back that far, the Spaniards and black people might have had wars back in 14th, 15th century, maybe. The Christians at that time, and the Moors were seafaring black people coming out of Morocco. So it's possible that at that time, the Moors were fighting more than just the Christians, the European Christians. They might have been fighting with the Spaniards, who are still European, Yeah, so that there might have been something going on there, but nonetheless, a lot of the people who were turning against, they didn't put us in slavery. There's nothing like that, but it's spilling over. The hatred is just spilling over, and a lot of it's our fault. I'm saying that because the Asians come here. They make money. That money circulates within their community. They send that money back home. They build up. Us, we make money and we blow or like Boot Gang tore up $20,000 just to show off. 20 G's. Another rapper recently gave away like $100K. He gave $10K to just some white guy who was pretty much a bum. I ain't got no problem helping out people who need some help. But just to go and hand somebody 10 G's, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that without making sure that that money is going to help build something. Not just, I'm going to show off and give away 10 G's because I can. No. I'm going to build a tiny house or something. I'm going to produce something to where, there's a continuation of that finances. I'm going to read some of your comments. And it's worse than ever in the prejudice with other, to black, yep, against Caribbean. Yeah, I would like to have you on a live because you're an American, but your people come from two different islands. So one of these days we're gonna have to. I've been trying to get you to do something like that. If you're opposed to it, just let me know. But if you want to do that, we can. And Haiti is getting worse. Yeah, some of my neighbors are Haitians. They're great people. Great people. Okay, that's why it's this way. But it always boiled down to when fights over always because it has something to do with it, especially if it ties to Christianity. Right. Okay. Well, that's cool. We need to do something because these are topics that need to be, there's not a lot of people here, but the thing about my videos is what I'm noticing is 2 years down the line, somebody stumbles upon, because I get comments from videos that I left 2 years ago. Somebody a comment, I'll be like, what's that video from? And I'll go and look at it and be like, man, I made that video so long ago. But nonetheless, it's an interesting topic. And if you talk about things that are interesting, and people start experiencing them, what's going to happen is they're going to be like, I'm going through this right now. See, it's not going anywhere. It's not like a Super Bowl game that's one particular game. You know what I'm saying? It's not like an event that's one particular event. This is something that just keeps going and going and going. Because I have an American outlook with a Caribbean, upbringing. So one of these days we need to get you on a live, just talk about the issues. I would love to get one of these guys, but they work a lot, So at any rate, so I just wanted to talk about the racism of Black people, and how unhealthy it is. But I can understand how Black people are protecting themselves, and they're becoming very, very skeptical of other colors, and we've seen how the Asians are treating our women and fighting with our women. Some of these women are going in and stealing his hair. That right there is a form of hatred to me. Why do you need, your hair to stay that way? Why do you have to spend all that money to buy that hair? Like, you don't need to do a burn victim. I can see cancer victim, understood. But if your hair changes a little bit, then let it change. You don't need to steal weave in order to look like if you have to steal it, then it's probably God telling you, you know what, your hair is about to change. Let God do his thing. Let it change. It's probably gonna be more beautiful than it was. Like if you have to steal it. It's just, I was just saying, I don't have the money for this. And you know what? It's time for a change. Switch up the game. Come out with a whole zippity zap zoop. Okay, well, that's fine. Well, see, I'm not coming down against hair weave. So if you got some extensions and you rocking them, that's not my business. What I'm saying is when it gets to an extreme where you have to commit a crime in order to get a hold of something, there's a good chance you probably didn't need it. That's where I'm going with that. Okay. Yeah, it's just you're at an extreme right now. Like what? I noticed there's a whole natural hair movement going on, and I like natural hair movements. Some Black American girls that can't leave the house. All I'm saying is, look, somebody can't leave the house unless their hair is done right. Okay. I'm glad that you care that much about yourself because I've seen some terrible stuff. But somebody who plans on stealing it, I'm going to take it from you That's just a whole different animal to me. I don't get that. Like, I've seen women, I've dated women who wore weave, and I would be looking at them like, you do realize that's somebody else's hair. Like, don't sit up here and act like, like it, wear it like, okay, I know that this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that there's like, don't sit up here and act like don't do that. But you know what happened to both of those women? Their hair fell out. Both of them. I was dating them while it did. I was just like, wow. Your hair, because they was wearing wigs and they tried to weave and then boom, their hair fell out. And you know what? They both got locks today. They both have natural locks. One girl's locks is like down there, like here. They both have natural locks. See, I had natural locks. You know what I'm saying? I had locks twice down here. I had locks. And so they was looking at me like, you know what? Let's go with your program. And it worked. You know what I'm saying? They were like, screw this. So, there's that. But yeah, as far as the racism is concerned, yes, black people are racist, but we need to, if you're going to be racist or prejudiced, you need to understand the value of your prejudiceness, like as in value, as in how much of it you want to be. Do you just want to be a prejudice to the point where, you know what, I don't quite trust anything anymore that anybody says on the news, Okay, I get that. But if you want to be like, I hate everyone of this color, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a mistake. And there are people out on the streets preaching this. Do not do that. Because not everyone who is a different color is out to get you. As a matter of fact, it could be the opposite. It could be opposite. People want why Asians in the air trust us so bad in the store, or treat us so bad in the store. Also, we buy so much weed while we don't own our. Yeah, we don't, because we'll rob our own store. And I don't understand how we can build. See, I don't get it, black people. I just don't understand. Look, okay, black people there used to be a lot of black farmers. White people came and took their land. They killed them and took their land. Like a guy got hung, was it 96, 91 or 96? In Florida, came and hung him. They hung him because they wanted his land. And they took his land, and that was it. That was all. They hung this black man and took his land. Black farmers could not get government subsidies. Government would not give black farmers subsidies. So they would give all the subsidies to the white farmers. And of course, you know what happened? The black people would go out of business because they couldn't get any subsidies. You know what I'm saying? So who are they feeding? And eventually, as far as business is concerned, as far as farmers is concerned, they had the edge. They had better equipment. They can feed their cows, chickens, and pigs, better products. And then their land is growing, your land is diminishing, law of diminishing returns. So, you have the black farmer just fade. I don't even know how many black farmers there are now, but I don't think there are any large, like 50, 60 acres and the big old cornfields and stuff you see. I just don't know if there's a farmer that big that Kroger's is buying from. Big old apple orchard or something like that. I just don't know if there is. You can correct me. There might be, but I don't know how many there are because the government didn't want to give them any money. That's that. Now, see, somebody like that being prejudiced, I completely understand, especially if you killed their father or something like that and took their land. I totally get that. I totally get the, but nonetheless, every white person didn't do that to you. It was a group of people who did that. Not everybody did that. So when the next white person comes along and you just automatically got bad for them and you go after them, you're in the wrong for that. But if you look at them skeptically, like, I don't know what you're gonna do, because one of you knocked off my father and all he was trying to do was make a living. I get that. You have the right to be skeptical. You have the right to be angry. You just don't have the right to act upon it. Not in a violent way towards somebody who done nothing to you. You don't have that right. Because that person did nothing to you. They have no idea what your story is. They weren't involved. And in some cases, they weren't even born or they were in another country. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is why I can't be mad at every white person I see. But I don't sit here and love every white. Oh, I just love. No, I don't do that. But there are people who are, you should hate everyone. I'm not going to be that person. I do not want to be prejudiced. I don't. But the people who have something against me and they want to hold that in and they're, out to, I'm going to be prejudiced against you. All day, don't come around me. I'm not interested. So I think it's a pick and choose thing. I think Black people need to wise up and realize that, we all living in the same hood. Yeah, there's going to be incidents, but fighting each other and then complaining about it you're doing it to yourselves. You really don't need to be. You really don't need to be. Anyways, I'm going to make some music. Then it's 1 o'clock. I got to get something to eat. I haven't been eating right. Gotta get something to eat. Make some music real quick. I should just make music tonight. I'll make some music tonight. Anyways, Nicole, whenever you decide that you want to be seen, Nicole, we will do a whole I haven't been eating a lot. I'm not depressed or anything. It's sometimes I just don't eat a lot, A lot of it has to do with walking up and down the dang stairs. And another thing is I stopped eating a lot of different things, chicken and stuff like that. I stopped eating a lot of it. So I'm hungry a lot now because I don't eat meat. And stress with studying. I'm not stressing over the world. There's a lot of things I can't change. Hanging in there on one class. Well, not barely. It's tight though. It's tight. One class I'm doing okay. The other one, it's tight. It's getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at like a 68.6. Like that's not a good look. You don't need to be at 68. And I think I got one more test. We just took a test yesterday. I ain't got the results of that test yet, but if I drop down to like a 63 or a 50 something, but there's the one good thing is I got some extra credit. So I got 2 extra credit projects that I got to get at. So I got to get those done. I got one more test and a few other things that can bring my score up, but it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. But if I get a I just got to get a D, man. Statistics, it's just getting ugly out here. It's getting ugly. You know what I'm saying? But if I can just squeak by, if I can like get a 60, 61 and just squeak by, oh man. You're like, I got a 61. Yeah, praise the Lord, 61. And I will go over to Franklin and be like, boom, here you go. I got 61 in this class. I got an 85 in this class. I passed both of them. Give me my piece of paper. Give it up, dog, because I've been studying. Give me my piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? And then shortly after that, I'll probably take like a month break. And during that month, man, I'll start, bowling for dollars, man. I'll be looking for money because I can't get any student loans. And so what I will do is I'll go back to Franklin and say, listen, I want to get a master's degree. How do I, what I'm saying? I'll probably go to schooly.com and start applying for grants and shoot. I just don't know. Yeah. I just don't know how I'm going to get the money to, because it's expensive. It's expensive. The class I'm taking is statistics, and the other class I'm taking is a HCM class, healthcare management class. It's the last of both. I don't have to take any more classes to get my bachelor's, but my bachelor's is not where I want to stop at. I want to get my master's. And I want to get it by 2021. Like, I don't want to be 5 years trying to get a master's. I would rather just, wait about a month or two and then just go right back at it and just head in the books and reading and writing, 10-page, 12-page, 15-page papers and like, let's go. But what's going to happen is I'm going to have to, what degree? Healthcare management. See, so if you get in healthcare management, if you get an MBA in healthcare management, you can start, you could, like I was talking to my primary care and at the VA, and she said, you know what? Because I told her what my degree is. She said, well, just so happens that, the head honcho, I remember a girl that took 9 years to get an associate degree. Heck, I've been going to school for a long time, so I can't say anything. But nonetheless, she said the head honcho is leaving, who happens to be a female, actually. She's a director of the hospital. She's like, yes, she's leaving. And she said, maybe you can take her place. And I was like, well, wouldn't I have to have a master's degree? And she's like, I don't really know. Which kind of puzzled me because I'm like, can somebody with a bachelor's degree take over a hospital? And I'm thinking, yeah, they can. You'll date me? I think you're already taken. You already got your hands full. Other than that, I'd be like, all right, come on up here. Let's go get a panini. Let's go get a panini. You got your hands full. But yes, the point I'm getting at is a bachelor's degree is worth a lot of money in the healthcare field. And that price is going up. It's escalating. And if you get an MBA, I mean, you can go into the 120, 30, 40 and keep going. You'll date me. Sure you will. I'm old, remember? Walk on my back, though. Oh, man. Doctor said I got arthritis again. He's like, well, your arthritis is getting worse. Shoo. Walk on my back. But, yeah, so now he tells me he wants to go to med school to become a psychiatrist. Ooh. Well, you know what? You and your fiance issues, man. Yeah, I can't. I was thinking about it the last time we talked. I was like, I might tell the woman something wrong, and there goes the neighborhood. I'm not dealing with that. I'm just saying, man. I don't want to, because I want to tell you something, and you be calling me up at 2 in the morning. You know what? I took your advice, and he dumped me. No, nope, nope. We not doing that. No. Mhm. How long can one stay in school? Shoot, as long as they want. I know a guy who's got like 5 degrees. I'm not kidding. He's got 2 masters and he's working on another bachelor right now. This guy is in school. But that's what he wants to do. It's taken me a long time to get my degree. A long time. I mean, the VA is just tired of me. They're like, we're tired of you. He probably isn't leaving you, baby. Well, good for you guys. Rock on. Hey. Play that, baby. Hey. Yeah, man. I'm gonna eat me a fish dinner tonight. Shoot, I might eat it for lunch. No, I think I'm gonna eat some. I'm gonna make some noodles. Okay. We'll make some noodles. That's my crank right there. Boop, boop, noodle. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go put some noodles on and come back because I know Miss Nicole's going to want to talk. But I'm not talking about your relationship with your dude. You can, but I'm not into, I have no advice for your relationship. I don't. Because when it goes bad, I don't want nothing to do with it. coming, here I am. R-A-W, here to bring trouble to phony MCs and move on them MCs. All right. Nobody's here anyway, but I'm going to make some music. Let me try some songwriter. I'm a songwriter. Now I got to finish my paper. I'm going to do it after I eat so I can think straight. I'm going to do some math. All right, so I'm just going to make some music because he's a wonderful Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. I like the Wiz better. He's the Wiz. He's the wizard. The Wiz was so much better than the Wizard of Oz. So much better. He's the Wiz. He's the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. What I don't use much guitar. A bass pattern. I like this. I like letting the boom 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 back boom 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 back bam 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 and then boom 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 and then boom then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it just because I want to. I'm gonna do it. Come on. See if I can find Did you like that one, Red? Was that a good one? Nobody talks to me when I'm jamming, and that's cool, but I don't know if you guys like it or not. Did you like it? Was it? Hold on a second. Got to turn on my AC. I'll let you listen to it again. Tell me if you like it. Glad you like it. I ain't had that bad knee, Red. I'll show you how to get down. Because I know you think that. I know you think I don't know how to get down. I know you think I don't have any groove in me just because I got a bad knee and a bad back. Got a funny looking toe too. I got a big toe. Got a big toe issue. Big toe don't want to act right. Got a bunion. You can't dance too good when you got a bunion. How would you do? I think I got two of them. Man walking around with two bunions. That's just against the law. That goes against the bunion law. You can't walk around with two bunions. Oh man. Can't walk around with two bunions. Can't help it. Walk around with two bunions. Called law, man walking around with two. Hey, 793. This is a man walking around here with two bunions. Over. Excuse me, control. 793, control. Over. There's a man walking around here with two bunions. Over. Got two bunions. This came out of nowhere. Got two bunions, Red. Two bunions. I got two bunions. I ain't gonna walk around with two bunions. That'd be crazy. Two bunions. I'll be all right. I just can't run like I used to. No, I'm gonna start this beat off with. I'm just gonna find some random stuff. Just see what I like. I like that. Oh my goodness. I love that. But the delay on it. Woo! That's hot. Oh my goodness, that's hot. Don't start today. My stomach will be. Nah, I ain't gonna do it to you. I'm just saying. Where Keith Cole at? Eating a bar of popcorn. No, she be eating a bar of popcorn. Can't take her nowhere. I ain't taking y'all to the movie theater at no time. Teacher be like, nope. Be like, I don't know them. Them two young ladies over there. I did not come in here with them. I did not. There's a seat between us. I have no affiliation with these two over here. Don't even know. Never saw them before in my life. Two loud ones. They're loud. They over here loud. Cackling like, laughing at everything. I don't know. Woo! That's hot. That is hot. That's got songwriter all over it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But why gotta be a 90 though? Oh my god, it's gonna throw me off though. Cause the okay, let me see if I can do this. Oh, it's off because it's going boom, tenor, boom, but the thing is going kit. Listen, it's not even doubling the speed. Boom, but if you go slower, why you do me like that? Ah, you suck. You suck. You suck. Oh my goodness, I like this so bad too. Hello? Dang. Oh my goodness, that's so dope. I can't get it to do what I want to. All right, well, if you're going to sit around and listen, then I will try it. Just not. No, not the drive. Ooh! Ooh, that's so sick! That's so sick! You can't tell me that ain't sick. That is a hit. All right, so I'm going to try it. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. This is just to see what happens. I might be the right one. Needs a different. might be the. Okay, I got an idea. I got an idea. I got an idea. Got an idea. Oh, you son of a gun. How you gonna do me like that? It's not gonna match it. It's not gonna match the speed. That is so sick though. The only way I could be able to do this is boom, 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 boom. Let me see something. That is so sick. I do not understand this. It's not gonna match it. It's not gonna match it at all. It's not gonna match it. What's up? Who this? Hi, Monkey Lads. What's up? Hey, what's going on, my man? Just talking to Red, making some music. What's up with you, man? How's your day going? arpeggio. Set it on speed. Okay, so what I did was, all right, you're talking about this. Okay, so this is at 120. I slowed it down. It's not going to catch this. So I put this at 120 and tried to catch the other beat, which is. To try to slow down and catch the. It's still going too fast. And I'm looking at all of the switches and stuff on it, and none of it slows it down. This is all for the sound. It's not for the pace. So there's nothing here that's gonna. You hear it? That changes my beat. All right, so now I got some. It's doing. Now I see what it's doing. Now I see what it's doing. All right, I'm gonna have to change this hi-hat. I'm gonna have to change the whole dang on thing. Give it to him. All right. Okay, so this beat is landing wrong. So I'm gonna have to save it as a WAV file, then load it back. Man, you on some advance. I'm gonna change this beat. I'm gonna swing this beat. Give me a second. Hold on. Oh, you son of a gun. I might have to do it by hand. It's too early. I'm going to do it by hand. Oh my goodness. I never had such a difficult time laying a beat. It's supposed to go. It's supposed to, but this, but it's got to quantize, or it's just going to be, once you get into the rest of the music, it's going to sound horrible bad. You'll hear every slightly off note. It'll just irritate you. It's got to be, all right, I'll try this again. All right. Let me get my bearings right. Almost. I don't think this has this, what I'm trying to do in it. It might not have the, I've never come across this before. Got it. It's a triple. It's a triple, sweet Lord. Oh, I was wrong. Woo! Oh, screw it. This is beyond my pay grade. I like this arpeggio though. I was trying to make something that I've never made something like that before. I like it. Okay, so I don't like what it's doing. It's offbeat. And I can't figure out the okay. If it doesn't quantize, Nicole, when you start singing over it, you'll hear it. You'll be like, that's off. You'll notice it real fast. You'll be like, that's off. Like my melody note is not gonna line up with that because it's off. Your melody note will line up with the airship rising, dun, 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 but it won't line up with the beat. So you won't be able to come in and go out on time. That's why. All right, I'm gonna fix it by hand. All right, so this is a little too early to the party. All right, that's fixed. This I'm gonna take out. I'm gonna try to add these hats in here again, but I'm gonna give them different hats. Since everybody likes this, because what I wanted to like how the drummer bring it to, but it got not the beat the drum, boom, 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 boom. That's what I want. Woo! Woo-hoo! Clean them up. You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Ah! guys like it. It's kicking my ass, but I'm glad you guys like it. That is busy. Okay, so that is the hi-hat and the 16-16, but this is set at a triple 16. It's a triplet 16 24th. That's moving. And I tried to get I'm still trying to get it in here. Trying to get it in, Nicole. I'm trying to get it in here. I'm gonna see if it's gonna aggregate. Screw it. It's supposed to go, but it's not doing it. And every time I try to join, when it's going, because I'm trying to join the two together, it just. I'm gonna rock with something else though. I do like this though. Now I need some bow, 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 bow. I need some voice, right? Bow, bow, bow. Da, 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 bow, 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 bow. Maybe a little lead. I don't know about the lead. I need chords. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna start off with a piano. I'm gonna start off with a piano and see what it sounds like. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start off with some basic chords and I'm gonna see what bear with me. It's just some trifecta. All right. Hey. Woo! That's an A major. That might be a minor. Woo! Do a little something to it. That's so sharp. But it gotta make it a different instrument. Woo, that's hard. Okay, so I know what I'm gonna do. But don't you do that. love though. Some love though. Oh. Alright, now I gotta go searching. Okay, I'm gonna go searching for a pad now. This is where it gets ugly, but when it's good, it's good. It's just like, you know, when you're on time, you're on time. When it's bad, it just sounds terrible. But when it's good, it's just like, oh, it sounds so good. So you guys want me to let the music play while I search for something because it'll sound off, or you want me to search and then let the music play? You guys, let me know what you want to do. Okay, no opinions? Okay. Something antimorphic. Not sure what you mean. Something with the pad, you mean? You mean something with a regular instrument or something with like a... Because something like this, messing around with these pads is really going to bring it home because it's already in a pad format. That Airship is nothing but pad. But it's going to sound a lot like Yellow or something like that from who are them boys back in the day who had that song? And everything's yellow too. They were like the #2 band for a long time. Until YouTube came back. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. But you know how this song is going to start. It's going to start like this. Woo! Oh, I'm going to drop this beat. I am not done with this beat. Don't you even think so? That's so sick. Oh, this song, man. whole thing on air because it's gonna be a banger, man. I don't want to put it online. Somebody will just take it, man. Because what I got in store for this is just crazy. That's gonna be it. I'd have to separate it because it's actually gonna go. Okay, wait a minute. Let me do this. Okay, so this would be hollow. It'll sound like this. If I'm gonna, woo. It'll be hollow like that. Woo! Tell me that I'm wicked. I still gotta add my strings. rocking out. Name it music theory. I know. Because it's been kicking my butt. Yeah, the music been kicking my behind. Like, whoa, I'm over here learning. I'm gonna throw a lead in here in a minute. As soon as I search some of this. That's hard, man. I never heard that arpeggio before, man. I was like, oh, I got to have that. I got to do that right there. Okay, it has a bass in it, but I'm wondering if I'm going to throw a bass in it. Everybody else left? Just wondering if I'm going to put a bass in it. I'm going to drop a bass in it. Boy, this is so sick.